block told me get my ass up. Your boy spent all night trying to get it bagged up. Early bird trade for stacking the fast bucks. 50 to the street, put rest of the cash up. For sure, hit the block like a KO, giving them whatever they want.
The one and only, Doc Frost.
Man, appreciate it.
What's happening, man?
Same.
Yeah?
How you been?
I've been good. So let's just jump right into it. Of course, you're a veteran of 103rd. You my elder by what? 10 years? Something like that?
10 plus, probably.
10 plus? All right, so let's get a little bit of background. Where you came from, how you grew up, how did you come to be?
Man, I grew up on 100 Prairie Block. Probably was the oldest kid on the block by 4 years, or so to speak. So I was big bro to everybody. Graduated from St. John. I ain't go to Bennett.
You went to St. John?
Yeah,
I got kicked out of St. John's in first grade.
Did you?
I did.
Man, they used to chase me out of Bennett because we used to get out of school every first Friday at 11:30, and that's back when Bennett could get out of school, at 12 o'clock for lunch. So if you had that blue uniform on,
you was
get your ass out of here. I started out at De La Salle when I graduated.
Okay.
And I think that's where I started beating the brothers at. I wanted to grow up with the gangsters, the guys and shit, but, time changed. I was able to get on the train and move around. So I used to catch hell up there, especially on the ball court when they had that 6-point stop. Niggas would check the ball and be like, dude, you can't run across that. Tell me I'm disrespecting. Like, nigga, you disrespecting, you stepping on it. But they didn't want me to step on it.
That sounded about right. Yeah.
As long as I ain't step on it, we good. They would check ball literally on a fast break, all that shit. And even my team would be cool with it.
Damn.
Like, man, you can't keep stepping, walking through the middle of the flow.
Do you feel like that created a different dynamic between you and the rest of the people you grew up with on the block?
Only when I went uphill. Uphill was like on purpose. Like, I take 100th Street and cut through the back gate and go in the store. And back then we had, it was a liquor store, but they sold like candy and shit, and they had like 3 video games in there. And I'd be in there trying to play Galaga or Centipede. Niggas used to legit try to push me up off the game. Yeah.
That's deep.
Because they knew,
Well, hood politics is hood politics, you know what I'm saying?
True that.
So, after high school, what made you take the steps that you took after high school? Because you went to the service, you did a whole bunch of different stuff. Like, what brought all that about?
Military, I was dating this girl, and she had joined the service, but she didn't tell me. It was all like, I'm going to school in Florida or whatever.
Yeah.
But her mom used to hear me talking to her, and, like, where you been? And I tell her certain stuff, like, man, guess what happened? So one day she wasn't there, and her mom pulled me to the side and was just like, man, you probably need to join the service or something, because, it ain't looking too good out here, and especially the route you running, you might not be here. I went home and I thought about it for a while, and I wound up just going and joining on my own without even talking it over with nobody, because I didn't want nobody to talk me out of it, because I thought about it. And when I first joined, I was just kind of like, man, maybe I made the wrong decision. Boot camp, they didn't cut all my hair off and shit. By the time I got to Japan in like 92, one of my guys went down for a murder, and a couple other friends got killed. I was like, maybe these people I seen. Yeah. So I did 4 years. I got a chance to travel, made some money.
That's always good.
And just got out the way, put it basically.
So How were things different when you came back? Like what was different? Was there an adjustment period?
Nah, my first 2 years I was stationed in Great Lakes, so
Okay.
I was at home every weekend. My last 2 years, I come home only if we had like 4 days off.
Okay.
But I ain't see the same people all the time. You know, you get home on them type of days. When I was in North Carolina, quick visits with family, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm gone.
In and out, right?
You know, by this time my son was born, my oldest son.
Yeah.
So, man, I didn't see nobody until about spring of '94. I left in '90, but spring of '94 is when I started seeing folks and getting back with the guys and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Smoking again.
All right. So once you came back, let's fast forward a little bit. What made you start rapping? What brought that about?
All right, Tia just came back from New Orleans. He was going to Dillard. And he would always get in the car and mess around and start freestyling over, you know, music.
Mm-hmm.
I used to just sit here and look at him like, man, I know you know how to rap. Shit, I want to do that. So when I first started writing, it was kind of like I couldn't think of a line.
Mm-hmm.
He would come over here, put this in, and I bounce off them lines. But it wasn't comfortable spitting like that because they weren't my lines, you know what I'm saying? Which I wound up going to DeKalb. Me and Miles Black was close. We got closer because he was already at school there.
Okay.
And he knew how to freestyle, for real. So I wanted to do the same. So what happened was just practicing with him and practicing. I had this karaoke radio that held 7 CDs.
Okay.
And I push the karaoke button and it would take the sound down some so I could rap over them. I used to rap like I was Buster. I used to rap like whoever the song was,
Yeah.
I'd take their style. Like once I figured out how to freestyle. That's how I met White Rain.
Shout out to Joe. God bless the dead.
He parked under the tree. We stayed across the street from each other. He parked under the tree on my side to wax his car so it wouldn't be under the sun. I had the window open. I'm just going along doing my thing. We had the same car. So one day, you know, I went downstairs. He's like, man, I heard you. You know, I was, you know, washing the car. And I got some guys up in Rockford. Why don't you take a ride with me? And I met Bandit and Such a Mess. I still wasn't all the way together lyrically, but over this course of time, I knew how I wanted to sound. Man, I want to be this and that, and I want my flow to be this, but I didn't know how to, you know, get it all the way together yet. So I go see Bandit and them, and I remember them asking me for $25 on the studio. Joe told me I was gonna go up there and they might let me spit. We in there for like 4 hours. I ain't say not one word.
Why not?
Man, they was doing their own shit. I just wanted to get on because I thought I was decent enough to write a verse. So they asked me for my $25 so they could get one more hour. I ain't give it to them. And on the ride home, Joe was, you know, he was like, man, dude, I apologize. And, you know, I ain't know that this was gonna happen. I had an attitude.
Yeah.
So he would take instrumentals because he couldn't make music at the time. He could make techno music, but his rap music was samples. And oh man, it's like 175 somewhere up there beats per minute. And one day I came over there, he had a song like about 75 or 80. I was like, ooh, sound nice. He came in like, what are you listening to? man, when did you make that? He looked and looked at the, you know, all the shit and was like, oh no, that's not it. He turned it all the way back up. I'm like, yeah, dude.
You don't know what you got.
So, White Rain beat started. We went to a cigar store that was right around the block from my house. I stole a pack of blunts, not the cigarillos, the blunts. So like a 5-pack. He was like, you want to come up here and help me make a beat? I was like, no, I'll leave that up to you. And I gave him 2 Optimos. Man, about a week and a half later, he came up with music. You know, beginning shit. He didn't have all the production equipment and that type of stuff. So his wife she was a teacher.
Okay.
He would slowly start piecing shit together. And he's like, man, don't you want to go back to Chicago and tell your friends that you got some shit made and we can make music. We can start out in our little studio or whatever. I came back with a CD with, you know, things I was doing on there. And, you know, the rest of the guys was just like, man, we need to start going up there. But by this time, I can write.
Right.
I can freestyle now. Me and Miles made a beat. And he let somebody listen to it, talking about, I got plugged at 106 Jams back in the day.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Man, it was like the 4th of July weekend. We went to the Taste, and we was coming home. I had a 76 Bonnevilles, like 5 of us in there. I got some sounds.
Okay.
And we heard Nas freestyling on the beat. They went and changed the beat, and it sounded like bullshit when we heard it. But the original, how we laid it, Spank Buddha was he was a DJ, and I heard Nas, and I'm like, are you serious? Me and Black, the only 2 dudes in the car that know what's going on.
Yeah.
Everybody happy to hear Nas freestyle. Man, he killed it. Where they get that beat from? Me and him looking at each other.
Right.
But I'm looking at him like,
We've been robbed. We've been robbed.
And then from that point, man, you know, I think they gave me confidence. Like, man, Nas out here spitting on some shit that I heard in my ears. Joe getting better. We going up to the studio. We started out. He had like them big ring binders. We would put the mic in there.
Oh yeah.
And had
old school.
Put a sock on the motherfucking hanger.
Old school sound booth.
And was just sitting there. Then we went for clothes. Then we went from that to taking out the clothes and stapling egg crates.
Crates, yeah.
You know, before we even, back then you couldn't just pick a beat up off YouTube or whatever. You had to know somebody that made a beat. And I'm just having faith that he gonna be able to do this.
Yeah.
Everybody else was complaining. And I was just like, hey, this is what they saying. He go back in the lab, come back, and have another beat. By the time I moved to Chicago, he started mailing the beats in the mail. You know, that's kind of how the ball got rolled.
Now tell me about the relationship with White Rain, because he ended up being a real major part of your journey musically.
White Rain was the original troll. He was an original troll, but he was a good motivator, you know. Yeah. I was already pissed about the Such a Mess episode that
didn't
next
pan
time
out,
I go up there,
I'm gonna be ready.
I'm gonna be nice.
Yeah.
And once I got to a point I could write the way I wanted to, like, man, these niggas garbage. And I couldn't wait to get back to Rockford. We would take trips. He was like, Joe was like Mickey in Rocky Balboa movies.
Or Boudini Brown, Muhammad Ali.
Get up here, don't be bullshit. You know what I mean? And he'll just be quiet. And you could tell he felt like he had like a pit bull. He could take off a leash. And gone up there, you know, they brought their best guy. And I just sit in there and pen. I knew I was doing something right when dude had another dude ghost writing for him, and I pent more than he pent with help. So then his music got better, and we weren't ET then. We were, we was called the Fit.
Right.
But I had a personal relationship with Joe. So Joe would call me, we'd be on the phone, he'd play some shit over the phone, but I couldn't really hear it. But it was the speech that came with it. Man, one day we gonna get out here and destroy these guys, man. He, because he was a white dude, they just wanted him to be a silent partner. His thing was, how silent you want me to be if you asking me for money?
Right.
And, so we had a friendship, so it was kind of like, I'm gonna work with him. And as he grew, I was growing. And this before, the guys came through.
Right.
I was doing like my own thing.
What was the song that made you be like, all right, I can do this? Because I know for me, it was one of them times you came back to the block and we was in front of the Bussy house. And I think it was like a switch brains. Oh, six. When I heard that, because the beat, and I was like, that's Jerry? And my folks was like, yeah. And I was like, oh. So for me, that was the song. I was like, oh, he got some go. But what was the song for you?
Reminisce. Reminisce is the first song that I was like, yeah, it's time to keep going. I was fumbling with the shit that he had. He had put some shit together. And then when that Reminisce beat came on, I was just like, okay,
that's it.
All right, you on your way. And yeah, Reminisce, hands down. I wrote that at my mom's house. I didn't have a beat. I had the experience, and it was just shit off. I wanted to get off my chest. I was writing down, and when I heard the beat, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put that down on that.
Okay.
And that's what led to everybody running into each other, meeting Joe.
Right.
That song there, he was like, oh yeah. But if you could get him to say something, you knew you had one. Joe would sit there the whole time and just be like this. He won't even nod his head.
Yeah.
You'd be like, dude, did you hear that? And he'll just be like, man, that was nice. What? I just spit my heart out. That was nice. He never got like, oh shit, that's a banger.
Yeah.
He used to always have like motivational speeches. He'd always say something. He'd always bring up, he'd even bring up Chicago talent. Man, shit, if people listening to Twister, they can listen to you. If people listening to Common, man, you could be out there too. And he just kept going with it. He was like a mad scientist, man. He used to troll folks, and all his progression he lost. Because he was tagged in one of them, back in them rooms, wasn't no Facebook.
Yeah.
He just was in rooms.
The chat rooms back in the day.
Yeah. Somebody hit him with a virus that was tagging him. He had to like redo his computer. He lost his memory. I was like, damn, you need to leave folks alone, dude. And he say something like, man, you racist? I just say shit to him like that. He was like, nah. You know how he be smoking them little white cigarettes? Yeah. Take like 3 hits.
And put it out.
And had like 1,000,000 squares in a pile. Smoke, but he'll smoke the blunt down because he didn't smoke blunts until we showed up.
Hanging with the rappers.
He just started smoking them bitches down to the tip.
Indeed.
He took pulls like Tough Tony. Tony would take a pull to his motherfucking lungs. You can see his goddamn rib cage, boy. He made sure he got his money. Your money.
Right. He definitely made sure that he got it in. So after that, there started a movement. Like, basically, E.T. started to come about. Tell me about how that formed, where the idea came from, and how all of that came about.
B and T would sit on the phone sometimes and talk. You know, everybody was going through their whole mob type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted to make sure they shit ran like the mafia. And we actually had a book and had definitions of certain words. You know, I had my own spot, so it was kind of like there was a word in there called comp. We felt like if I come visit you, I shouldn't really want for shit. Like you a guest in the house, I got everything that you need. We're gonna feed you, smoke, drink, whatever. You don't really have to spend a dime, just the fact that you came over.
Right.
You know, we wanted that for everybody to be able to do that. And you know, just biting certain things from them.
Yeah.
And we called ourselves the Fit, short for outfit. You know, we just took the Fit.
Yeah.
And it was me and him, and Black, it just came, but he wasn't always there. You know, he was like, you go to this studio session, 3 studio sessions later, he'll show up.
So he was a less consistent member, basically.
Right. I used to be on him like, dude, you know what day we going? Because we was going on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So when he finally did come, we made this song called Eatin'. I've been hound Black because I knew him up in DeKalb. Like, he got me started. And I would tell T about him. So he finally showed up. We made this song called Eatin'. And I knew he was raw when he said, you can't knock the hustle, but you can pop the hustler. So I keep my eye on these niggas like jugglers. And I was just like, dude, you need to start showing up.
Bars.
You know. He got a job at like bending iron or something, and he got burnt. But Black would show up to the studio with, I wrote 3 bars here, I wrote 4 bars this, and he'll have little pieces of paper that he would literally tear.
So it was like a duck off the 5 heartbeats, huh?
And just do this. He'll write, he'll go to another piece, had to punch back in because these 2 pieces were out of order. Like, man, organize yourself. And then, man, then Boel showed up. This is like right before E.O.C.
Yeah.
You know. Then Bo kind of showed up. Since me and Bug was closer than Bug and T, Black would be sitting here like, when did he get the whole okay? Did you okay this move? I don't know. You know, it's just kind of like, I don't know. Because I wasn't in love with his pitch. He could say some shit, don't get me wrong. He had wordplay. But it was the delivery, it was the pitch. Like, I think that was like a majority of people were listening. They fall off because of the pitch and not really checking
for the lyrics,
what he's saying.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like, whatever, we'll work past that. I'm just going to keep writing.
Right.
I would get the beats from Joel and, you know, just keep making music.
Yeah.
Then we wanted to change our name to Organized Grind.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. E.T., I don't know how that happened. It just, I just looked up, like, we're going to call ourselves Executive Talk. And that's when you seen the E.T. with the silver, you know, the black and silver background. I was like, oh, that looked nice. That's a hit.
To be real, I remember going through a lot of names. It was the Vanderbilt Coalition, Organized Grind, and then G Unit.
What?
Remember, it was G Unit before 50 and them came out. It was G Unit, and then when 50 and them came out, I was like, oh, we can't use this shit.
Oh, damn. I remember a million names. I stopped following them. With, you know, it was like, we gonna find a name and keep going with it.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped when we got the executive talk.
Yeah. Now, what did executive talk mean to you? Because a lot of people will hear that name like executive talk. Like, what's the science behind that?
For me, it meant more like top level.
Yeah.
Talking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had like basic rap.
Yeah.
You had a point where certain people sound the same. Like this person might sound like this person, or they talking about the same stuff.
Yeah.
I know T had a vision of it being like a wealthy stance.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to rap.
Yeah.
I didn't really care about the name. I cared about what was coming out behind the name more than anything.
Right.
So I just let them play with the names. We this? Are we for real?
Right.
What does that mean? That'll be me.
Uh-huh.
Whatever. I kept my head down until they started talking about business and real studio time. You know.
All right, now while we was going through that, while E.T. is forming or just formed, we started working on the mixtape, The Valley of the Kings Volume 1, which I named, by the way.
Right.
I came up with that name.
Shout out.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to me, Valley of the Kings Volume 1. Thank you. That was when we came, as far as the E.O.C. And explain the dynamic of that, because y'all used to call us the Young Gunners.
Yeah.
We were so much younger. Everybody was in high school. What was that like? What was the infusion of that for you guys?
As far as a rap level, I knew foolery first as far as like that type of shit. He would catch me writing rhymes anywhere.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that I have a beat on and I tell him this and tell him that, and he's like, dang. So then I found out he was writing. But he was like, dang, you write like I do, like all the time. One day he caught me. This was around that time, you know, nigga didn't have nowhere to go. I was sitting on the stairs of Bennett in the wintertime. He was coming from his mom's house to come on the block. And I was sitting on them stairs closer to 101st.
Yeah.
I think I might have been the auditorium stairs.
Yeah.
Or was it the gym?
It might be the gym. If you talk about closer to the park, that's the gym.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was sitting closer to 100th Street. Like
Okay, so yeah, you was at the auditorium stairs then.
I sat there and I wrote so long, it was snowing. That the snow, I was so still.
Building up on you.
That I had snow building up on my shoulders. Ken scared the shit out of me because I was focused.
Yeah.
Like, what you doing out here? And he seen I had my pen out. And, you know, for Ken, he said that moment there, he was like, oh, yeah, this dude want it. And that's kind of how me and him got together.
Yeah.
So when I started hearing him, he used to tell me, like, that young nigga coming for you. You know what I'm saying? And me and him would just talk shit to each other. We never talked about getting on the song together.
Yeah.
But we actually talked about going in each other's necks. Like, dude, just remember who you talking to. You know? But I like that because it kept my pen going. Because I would call him, he would call me, or we would see each other in the street. Oh, you wrote that? Oh, okay. Yeah, you coming. So now I got to come up with some more shit.
Yeah.
Then I met you and Mac. Well, I knew you already.
Yeah.
I met Mac. I was like, damn, y'all making music? But I ain't know, like, y'all whole dynamic.
Yeah.
I just knew, you know, it was like a family thing. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to support y'all regardless. Y'all used to be like, come on down here.
Yeah.
I just never made it down there, but I made it a few times.
Yeah.
And that's when I seen that machine with tripping and stuff on it.
Yeah. That
I was like, oh
beat
yeah,
machine.
these niggas for real. They ain't got them a little beat machine down here. They're ahead of us compared to the points where we started.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just writing.
Yeah.
You had to listen to a song on the radio, damn near. Or you had a CD, and that's how you found your rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And then put it on another song.
Yeah. So, walk me through the mixtape. You had some dope songs on there. Catch Me If You Can is one that everybody fucking loves. What's the other one? My Way. My Way. Like that was the one everybody was like, man, okay, dude got something. Cause at first, from what I was hearing, what caught people the most at first was your name, Doc Frost.
No shit.
How did you come up with Doc Frost? Was it the day sitting in the snow with the pen?
I was Diamond Frost at first.
True.
And I stuck with that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I would cut Frost off. Be like Diamond, and that was a good word to rhyme with. I could play with Diamond in certain things. I was talking to one of my guys, and he was just like, man, you probably should lose that. That Frost is cold.
Mm-hmm.
But you probably need to drop that Diamond and put something else in front of that. Like, why you say that? You know, these diamonds, you know, we kind of relate that to women.
Mm-hmm.
So, I can't remember who it was. When I was in the service, I was a medic.
Okay.
And in North Carolina, all the Marines called me Doc.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to Northern, I was hustling.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like a split personality. Like, I had some white friends that would help me sell drugs. They had bread. They just
like
wanted
the
to
thrill
smoke.
of shit, huh?
Right. Like, man, I got some guys that need what you looking for. You know, what you got. So when I'm in the room, I'm Jerome. And then I heard a white dude say, hey, he was talking to my boy Kevin. He was like, man, you think you can call your boy Doc for me? I was selling weed, cocaine, got a hands on some opium, shrooms. Was trying to sell acid, but that didn't fall through. So E.O.C became drug of choice. Like all these niggas just out here selling crack or reefer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna touch all this shit. Man, they had me in the news, well not me, but they had cases. When I had that horse, boy, niggas damn near died at school.
Damn.
So I'm looking in the school newspaper like, shit. And one of the guys, his heartbeat was so low that they thought he died. And and it says his name, where he from. And they say, man, police was talking to him. He shows up on me like as I'm reading the paper.
Oh wow.
Man, I done turned the music up and everything in the room. He was like, man, you think you can
If you wired,
I was like, what you say? Like, what are you talking about? I was like, man, I heard you was in the hospital. Police was talking to you. Oh, man, I wouldn't rat you out, man. You know, blah, blah, blah. I was, with the music, I'm whispering in his ear, like, I'm scared.
As you should be. As you should be.
So that's kind of how the name stuck.
Okay.
And I said, man, I'm just going to ride with Doc. But at this point, now I'm using Frost more than the whole name. And that's kind of how it changed.
Okay.
Doc Frost was like Kobe's 8 and 24.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Both of them nice.
Yeah.
But once I hit Doc Frost,
that was
my writing and shit, my lifestyle was
Mamba
different.
mentality type deal, huh?
My guys, I felt like they could rhyme. You can put your best 16 up. You could write one bar every day for 16 days until you came up with the coldest song you thought you had. I'm still gonna murder your ass within the next 5 minutes. And that's how I felt every time. And it wasn't no disrespect to the guys. That's how I felt about myself.
Right.
But once I felt like, man, why my guys don't feel like they as happy as I am for that? Because I know this shit hot.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all kind of like, you know. Now I'm going to write even harder.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not going to have a choice but to say, oh, okay, this that dude.
Right.
And that's kind of like, my verses was personal battles.
So it was like extra motivation every time you didn't get the reaction that you felt like it deserved.
There was a moment in the group, T and Boel started going to see White Rain on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And would make music and wouldn't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The beats would be done. The music, the song is done.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, they done been back with the song weeks. I ain't heard a peep.
Mm.
Talking to White Rain on the phone, he's like, man, you know, such and such came up here.
Mm-hmm.
What? When? Now I'm feeling a certain way. It's personal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what started me and Black on the Antidote.
Right. I remember that.
That's how, you remember when we met Hocus Pocus?
Mm-hmm.
He would turn my music on when I was leaving out the studio. He wanted to know what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So I wrote a song talking about him. Joe scratched that song when I got in the booth. Like, it was a beat from, I think we had found something online from these guys called Deeper Era.
Okay.
And I heard that beat, I'm like, this is what I'm going to put down. And when Joe heard it, he was like, whoa. Sound like you talking to Hocus in there. Yes, I am. He want to keep turning my shit on. He didn't shake my hand. I was about to leave. Me and Black was leaving.
Yeah.
And him and this guy Chloe was up there. And I heard my music come on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking maybe the computer or whatever. I go in the room. Dude's sitting there just like this with the computer, like watching my shit go across the screen. So Chloe came, introduced herself, and I walked over to dude like,
right, what's up?
That's me.
Yeah.
Man, nigga looked at me and looked back at the screen like, oh, for real? Okay, it's on. It's on.
Now, yeah, that time period, because like we weren't big time rappers, like we was super local. So to have like rap beefs already, was that weird? Or was that something like par for the course?
Par for the course. When we first started, Joe used to put us up on either SoundClick or SoundCloud, one of them.
It might have been SoundClick. I think it was SoundClick.
They had the little bulletin board, people could comment.
Yep.
Man, I don't know how Bo wound up with a song on there, but they heard him.
Yeah.
And they got to talking to Joe, and Joe was like, whatever he was saying was defending us. They was like, no. We're talking about that nigga. They was from Kentucky.
Super specific.
Like, no. We talking about that nigga.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe went on his troll shit.
Yeah.
And then called me, was like, man, these guys from Kentucky was talking shit about y'all. What? And that's when we got together and made a song. I can't even remember if Bo was on it. But I remember, I can't even remember the verse. I just remember saying, y'all some faggot ass niggas. That's why y'all use the KY. Line goes straight over motherfucking head. Like, what is you talking about? I was like, ain't they from Kentucky?
Mm-hmm.
When you write a letter, what initials do you use for the state?
True.
Oh shit, this nigga thinking.
Man. So we're going through the rap beefs. The mixtape is being made. What was the motivation behind the mixtape? Like what in your view, what was trying to be accomplished? Because at this time, the crew has gotten bigger. By this time, E.O.C has been added. Even we started getting people like Tizzy and other people that start like jumping on board. And before you knew it, we had a decent sized little crew. So when that mixtape was being formatted, what was your view on it? Like what?
I ain't gonna even lie to you, man. I was happy. I wanted to be out. You know, the whole goal of finally being able to get out on the corner or run into people and strangers and push the music. You know, when you had streams and all that
right.
stuff.
This was
back
before
then.
all of that, so you really had to get it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? So for us to even have a website back then was a big deal because nobody had a website. So for us to be on SoundClick and have a website and have physical copies, that we were moving in the right direction at that time. So once the mixtape was done, what was your view on it? Like, were you charged like, okay, now we finally got this done, we can push forward? Like, what was your mind state at that time?
When we got the mixtape done, well, knowing that we about to do the mixtape and knowing that, man, we about to make a group of songs and pick. Everything I was making, I was trying to, I didn't want my song not to have an excuse to not be on there. This around that time, listening to y'all in that studio. I don't think the CD was out yet.
No, probably not.
And remember the guys came in on our session? They knew the dude, the programmer.
Yeah.
We was at that studio that had the pool table. You couldn't smoke squares on the inside, but you could smoke all the weed you want, and he wanted to hit it. Him, that day. Dude left the mic on. And I'm looking in, I could see y'all.
Yeah.
Two things happened. Dude left the mic on. I don't know what y'all was talking about, but I remember hearing Ken say, if we ain't leading off with Jerry, what we talking about? And I heard you back him.
Yeah.
And the second thing that happened, I'm getting a little frustrated about these dudes that keep walking in like, dudes, you know your time ain't up. So why the fuck I don't give a fuck this your friend or not.
Right.
This our session. T didn't say nothing to him. And he messed around, was like, what's dude name in there? Dude, he's like, that's Frost.
Yeah.
Man, how he sound? He decent. Just like that. He decent. And I'm looking around and wait, you for real?
Right.
Decent? Okay. I hadn't wrote Catch Me. I hadn't wrote My Way.
Yeah.
I sure haven't wrote What You Talking About.
Right.
So when I get them joints out and I'm noticing, I'm looking up like, damn, CEO, you trying to put 4-5 songs on this bitch yourself. You know, CD only hold about 15 songs at 335.
Especially back then.
Well, we making a double?
Right.
Part 2? Man, you got a lot of joints. And he had little spots on his verse, you know, that he needed an extra verse to. Cop and Blow and
one of my favorites, by the way.
Yeah.
Cop and Blow. Like, Cop and Blow was one of them songs. Like, for real.
I can't think of the other song. Oh, Cop and Blow. Was it Hate Me? No, it wasn't Hate Me.
It wasn't Hate Me. Hate Me was actually the last song that got added, wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
The two songs with me and him on there. It was Cop and Blow and
Cop and Blow. I can't remember the name of the other one. Can't remember. It's been about 20 years, y'all.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
It was them two songs I was on with him. Man, I was trying to push the pedal on all that shit.
Yeah.
Cause I can think about this. Like, dude, you call me decent. Like, for real. Like,
I got to cut you.
you call me decent. And it wasn't just those words.
Yeah, it was the way it was delivered.
Man, you know, we sit back and be like, man, what kind of weed was that? Where you get that from? Man, I blow. Oh, man, this shit decent.
Decent. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you hit me like I'm me. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, man, he all right. That's what it sounded like he was saying. He all right. I just kept that fuel. So when I wrote Catch Me, White Rain put the spin on it. Like, I'm going to let Fools sing on it.
Yeah.
I never heard it. And when I heard it, I was like, oh, that's a banger.
Yeah.
My Way, I knew it was gonna be a banger. I just knew that. And there was a few other songs that I wish they would have picked from.
Okay.
Like I never made a name for that song, but the song that was like, well, that was done later. I'm from the city where it went that line. But I felt like I was better than everybody in my clique. Me and Bug, you know, Miles.
Mm-hmm.
We had a chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
So I never really questioned him because we had like a different chemistry.
Yeah.
But everybody else, I felt like I was better. Especially when you call me decent. Sounding like, yeah, he all right.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know this nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was touched by that.
All right. And we walk down the timeline. Mixtape comes out. And the bottom falls out of E.T. Like, it was amazing how quick it happened. We had the listening party like a week later. It was pretty much, I mean, like a lot happened during that time. The lawyer died. And then just discrepancies between different factions in E.T. When it fell apart, what was your mind state then? Because it was like as quick as it went up, it went down. We went out that first weekend and we sold about 300 copies in 2 hours. We was hustling out there on them corners. But then we never pressed up anymore and the bottom fell out. What was your mind state?
Man, I had more like a shock value, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like, we got the CDs, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long it's gonna take,
Right.
but
we got
this the start that back then. This is the start where everybody was starting.
Uh-huh.
You couldn't start without the CDs.
Right.
So I was like, okay, cool. Mentally, when we get the CDs, mentally, I gotta make hotter songs.
Uh-huh.
Cause it was kind of like a feeling of reluctance, but it's like, you gonna go first.
Uh-huh.
Me feeling like I should go first,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was gonna make anchors. Like, man, I got to, y'all leaving it up to me to put us out here, then I felt that responsibility. I was working at Foot Locker in Joliet selling my shit.
Uh-huh.
I went to a barbershop and sold a few, and when I came back, I heard Catch Me the very next week in rotation with the music at the barbershop.
Yeah.
And the barber, you know, the dude in the middle chair, he was like, that's dude right there. One CD I sold, I kind of gave it away for free, but I was like, dude, I'll give you he gave me the money. I was like, man, I'll tell you what, I'll give you some free shoe cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause he bought some ones or something. Like, I'll give you free shoe cleaner. She was like, you can't be selling that shit and working at the same time. I put the motherfuckers in his shoe, in a shoebox. So I'm going on about my business. About 4 hours went past. Nigga came in with one of them thick silver markers.
Mm-hmm.
Man, sign this. He was like, dude, ain't you on 257 or something like that? I was like, yeah. He was like, what's your name? I told him. He was like, man, sign that shit, dude, because you on your way, man. You on your way. So, to start getting good feedback, man, they let my CD bang at the job while we was cleaning up closing hours. Now employers like, that's you for real? It don't sound like you. But, man, that sound hot. You lying. $5. I sold all my shit that day, and I was coming to get more. Like, yeah, we got to get them pressed up. And some weeks went past. I'm kind of like, dude, we gonna lose momentum.
Right.
Then I went over there and I talked to him, and I don't know, man. It's just the way his voice sounded and his posture.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't want this, do you?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I could get it. Like some of us was in different financial situations, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, he wanted to be the CEO, whatever. But that's what you want to be the CEO for,
Mm-hmm.
right? You knew coming in the game that some of us had different situations.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you got tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know really what happened behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
but I just kind of sat there like, man, we really quitting?
Right.
Wow. And you know, I think Joe went through a phase where he sold his equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And his wife was like, talk to him so he can get the love back.
Mm-hmm.
And then he bought it back and he bought some more equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, then he started getting sick.
Yeah.
You know, leukemia started taking over.
Yeah.
I mean, he eventually died of pneumonia. But, and that's kind of like where my spirit died. When Joe died,
Mm-hmm.
I went to the funeral and seen everybody. Really didn't want to write no more. Because the only person in my group
Mm-hmm.
that loved it just as much as I did, he ain't here no more.
Right.
It just felt like the pen wasn't even right, man. I couldn't come up with shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, he got his stuff back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well,
We'll backtrack from.
I'm backtracking. When he got his shit back, I was driving a semi,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to go visit him. This kid was little. Took him. I had a run that was not too far from his house.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to, you know, I had a chance to stay overnight there. I got there early. I took his son for a ride, whatever. Didn't know that his son really liked trucks like that. He had a whole bunch on the shelf in his room. Mm-hmm. And you know, Joe, you know how he talk. Man, I sure want to thank you. Man, you just don't know. This means the world to me. You know how he, you know how he is, man. And then we sat in that same room and was just like, I'm missing a solo CD.
Mm-hmm.
We never got a chance to do it.
Yeah.
But I had been writing as long as I had the music. He started sending me the music.
Mm-hmm.
Then, you know, some other dissension because he actually made me a custom track.
Mm-hmm.
They like, how you get a beat? Like, come on now.
Right.
Like, this my guy. This deeper than
Mm-hmm.
what we doing.
Right.
But he was also tired of me not even getting a chance to rap on beats 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm.
He was sending a CD, like 16 songs or 14.
It's the B CD. How the song get it. But
What You Talking About was song number 8.
Mm.
My Way was 9 on the track.
Mm-hmm.
Catch Me was down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like second to last on that CD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I made What You Talking About, now the funny thing about making What You Talking About, it was done twice.
Mm.
The first time I did it, Bug was there.
Mm-hmm.
Bug and Bandit, matter of fact. And Bandit was like, man, you should say the hook this way.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you hear the song, it's like, you know how it sound.
Mm-hmm.
What you talking about? It was kind of like, it was supposed to have been said almost like you would think a member from Crucial Conflict was on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know you be kind of animated when you say like, man, what you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That same energy wasn't on the one that's on the mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
Like you heard the original.
Mm-hmm.
What you talking about, man?
Yeah.
It came out like more emphasis on the hook.
Yeah.
It was just like, I felt like Chris Paul and James Harden playing with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you ain't even interested.
Right.
And it had that same energy on how I wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
But it wound up on, you know. But for us to just stop,
Mm-hmm.
no explanations, like it's to this day, it's never been talked about why we don't make music.
Mm.
To this day. And what's that, 20-some years ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of bugs me.
I mean, I can understand why it would.
Because at the listening party,
Yeah.
this is when I'm on carry mode. Those joints that I brought back,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If they made it now, if them joints made that mixtape, motherfuckers have been looking for that mixtape, and that's how I felt. Like, yeah, I know we got the mixtape, but when y'all play these here, I don't think niggas really like that line. Cause they was like, this nigga making hit after hit. I'm from the city where it's windy, 150s and handshaking.
It was authentically Chicago. It was authentically Chicago.
I ain't want to sound like no New York nigga. I ain't from there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk like how I talk here. Like that day, we was in front of Ralph's crib and we got the CD back. And Shank was outside.
Yeah.
I don't know if you was there, but I know Ken was there.
We was all
Shank didn't know. I don't even know if you knew it was me yet.
Nope. That was the first day I heard that song I was telling you about.
Yeah?
Yeah, we was all standing there. T had the Riviera out there, and we was all out, and we supposed to start playing it. Shank was like, hey, listen to this shit. Like, who is this? Nigga, that's Jerry. What? So it was like I said, that was when I was like, okay. Because we had already, on our side, we was already moving. We had already been rapping and writing, and that's what we was talking about, like leveling up as far as getting the equipment to try to be self-sufficient and shit like that. So that's what led us to start. Ken came with the beat machine. Then I went to, I think, Guitar Center and bought a 4-track recorder, and Cabin came, and we just added equipment on top of everything everybody had. It was a community, because remember, that was our name at first, Community Project.
Right.
So it was a community project, literally, because we all just pieced shit together that we had to make one for the common goal. You know what I'm saying?
I'll never forget that, man. And I'm sitting there like, looking back on it now. We had, our production was willing to spend money. Melissa was down for the cause, like, I got good credit, this credit card is skyrocket the limit. Here.
Right.
Joe, go get whatever you need.
I believe in it.
Like, man, I'm gonna support you.
Yeah, she used to bring food and all types of stuff.
That's when you knew it was time to leave. When she make that thick ass lasagna and give you a Mountain Dew, your ass getting sleepy.
Right.
Time to go. Like, man, you about to kill us on the ride home, man. I'm full of the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Man, Melissa was 10 toes, man.
Indeed.
Joe got a email from Terror Squad. Right? He was putting up beats. They ain't had no words on them.
Yeah.
Joe thought it was fake. They talking about they was gonna send him to New York and everything.
Damn.
And I was like, what part of New York? He was like, let me read it. It says the Bronx. I'm like, nigga.
That's them.
That's really them. He was like, you know his line, you think?
Yeah. No, that's them.
Melissa wanted to have another kid. But she was like, man, you need to talk to him about making music. I want to have another baby. I believe that he can make money off his music alone. Got to talking to him. He was just, man, you know how he is. Once he made that My Way, I was like, dude, you should have made that. You should have took that trip. They was gonna fly him out. Like, we don't know. There's so many different variables in it. Like, what if this happened? Just frustrating down the line to know I'm older and I never knew what was gonna happen. And we ain't take advantage of the blessing. I don't even think people really realize we had a blessing. The biggest thing, I knew Joe was committed, finding that right microphone. He was looking for a microphone. Man, he looked for microphones like it wasn't. And then he's like, how does it sound on this mic?
Yeah. Cause I remember when that blue one first came out with the little ball on the top. He's like, this is trash. We're never recording on this again.
He wanted to buy one that was like, I think back then he wanted to buy a mic that was like $600. It had a gold top on it. I was like, go ahead.
Go back.
Yeah. He was like, man, I don't know. And he wound up with a mic when he made the Card House, and when he had the house in Rockford. You had to go out there and take them little thick ass boards and put them in the square next to the glass to the window. We called that's when we started calling the studio the Card House. Cause it looked like a little house of cards the way he had to stack them.
Now, after that, there was a period to where Joe changed his name from White Rain to Big Dog Beats and revamped the website. It was a Big Dog Beat website, and ET wasn't a thing anymore. What was your outlook on it when that transition started happening?
I was happy for him. Like, we ain't getting it done down here. We can't really stop you from doing what you doing. I'd be a hater if I consider you my friend and you trying to elevate the product. Sure, if you elevate the product, that makes even more room for me. Right? And at this point, it's like, I just want to be on. Or in position where even if I never make it, I know I put my best foot forward and I tried. Shit just didn't happen. Like I said, that's like the most.
That's what I was just about to ask. Do you feel, is that like, does it eat a little bit, like the what if factor?
To this day. Anytime I hear that CD, to this day, because it's like, you don't want to live with regrets, but that's one of them. I was younger. And your life wasn't right. And like, for your life, man, it was like a redemption moment. Like, people done wrote you off. You don't see the same folks because you're not in the same position that you was when you was seeing them. You don't want to see nobody when you fucked up. And to be able to pull myself out the mud through this, and you got to listen to me, and not to have that chance. That bugged. And it bugged me more because I just felt like, damn, niggas don't even give a fuck. Like, yeah, I'm working over here. I got a job now. I don't have to put the bread in. And I can live my life the way I want to live instead of entrepreneuring and see what happens. Like, you supposed to have these days, building from the ground up. You gave up because there's more days than you expected. Like I say, it could be some other shit behind the scenes. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But me on at least the immediate outside looking in, just felt like, man, we just gave up. Because like I say, to this day, there's no explanation on what happened.
Just kind of went away. So, after that, what is the transition like for your life after that? What was next?
Man, shit, trying to pull it together. I got my license together, got a CDL. I was driving trucks. Then I went and started driving some school buses for a while. I lost my job. I got fired for an accident. But I was able to drive a school bus because I had an A, you needed a B.
Okay.
And then, I got back in, had a kid, wound up raising him by myself. But I always was just like, damn.
What if?
Because, during that movement, he was here. Man, it just bugged me, man. Just thinking about it, man. Like, man, we gave up, man. We literally just quit. And it's not like we quit after so many tapes. We only had one.
One tape. That was it.
The shit that I had 2 notebooks, 20-something joints. 20. Out of them 20, man, it had to been like maybe 23, 24 songs.
Mm-hmm.
I knew at least 16 of them somebody gonna listen to. I knew, like, not just being,
Right.
confident in myself. I knew.
Mm-hmm.
I was ready to carry, basically.
Yeah.
Too ready to carry, like, oh yeah, this gonna be my time. We done got this first one out.
Mm-hmm.
One of these mixtapes gonna be mine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need y'all help. I got Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really need no help. But I'm gonna put it out through us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that first one, my volume 1,
Mm-hmm.
would have had buzz. Because I had enough of volume 2. And I was still writing.
Right.
My mind was,
It was in mode at the time.
man, my mind was different. It's like, man, y'all not gonna take advantage of that?
I mean, that definitely is something that I'm sure not just you or me or the rest of the guys, like, I'm sure everybody think about it. I honestly think if Joe would have lived, like, things would have went different. You know what I'm saying? Particularly. But everything happens the way it happens for a reason, I guess. Because now you got your son's rapping. So let's transition into that. Like, so now you got a new generation, and you done took your bumps and your bruises, and you learned a lot over those years. What are you trying to impart into his journey? That
Mainly work ethic. I hear him go to the studio and he talking about he want to shoot videos, but my main thing is, man, keep building the music. All that's gonna come. Keep building your music. You can have 8 songs and pick one video. You're still gonna need more music. Like I'm listening to his recordings, and I can hear his growth. Like I can hear him with each little session that he go to get comfortable.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't even know about the original shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I was telling him. I was like, you can't fall in love with this. You got to fall in love with the process. You can't stick on the song, because a motherfucker tell you in a minute the song that you think the hottest. It could be a million motherfuckers that don't feel that song, and that throw you off.
Right.
And you kind of shook up because you was like, damn, I put all my bullets in that one. Man, just keep making. I challenge him to write a verse a day. Different melodies, different speeds. But just keep writing. Keep your creative shit, because once you don't use your gift kind of like wears thin on you. You know what I mean? And that's what I be trying to get them to see. You ain't got to worry. You got a job. You do everything. Everybody can't go. Everybody might not like it as much as you.
Right.
But I'd rather him fall in love with what he doing than just, I'm gonna get out here just to make money. Like, I want him to love the craft of it. I play old music for him. Like, this is the reason why y'all can say this.
Right. So if you had one piece of advice now that you could have gave yourself back then, what would it be?
Everybody can't go. Everybody don't love it like you do. Like, my struggle, I was right. Yeah, we all right for the goal of, man, I want to be this person, and people scream my name, I'm going on tour, or I got a deal, or I look like I got enough to, if I wanted to, look like that nigga on TV. But within that, I fell in love with it. You know what I mean? Like, I fell in love with sitting there, coming up with concept. Ooh, this verse, ooh, yeah, that's nice. You don't appreciate it until, like, after you hear it. This song might be a month old. And I go back on it and be like, damn, you said that. And that's what kept me motivated. Like, you can do better.
Right.
And I tell myself, if I could tell myself, like, just keep going. Everybody ain't gonna love it the way you do.
Indeed.
Surround yourself around like minds. Because, you know, once the majority, or half, or however, you know, the numbers was, once a few people stop giving a fuck, then, you know, the wheels fall off. But you should be able to navigate yourself if this is what you want to do.
Right.
And I felt that way, but like I say, when White Rain died, man, that just took something out of me. Cause I lost more than a dude. We had fun making music together. Like I lost a legit friend. We were friends working on music. So.
Well, there you have it, people. At least a little bit of it. Now, question now. Do you still love it now? Because I know when I talk to you, sometimes you can't help but to spit around me now and again. Like, so what brought the love back now? Like, even though you're not trying to get on anymore, and it's like it's just like what brought it back?
Our conversations, just talking, like minds. You know, you out in this space. So you're still technically dealing with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to talk to somebody, you know, it's like a dude come home from jail and talk to the youngest on what's going on the block now. That's kind of how it feels, because just curiosity, like to myself, like, man, you still right? And some shit that I say that I've written to myself and I say it out loud, you know, trash talking with my son, like, you're not ready for that type of heat. And it's always that little itch. Somebody told me on the phone, boy, you ain't too old to make music. Music is timeless.
That's true. That's true.
And then I got curious. I dropped him a ghost line, and I hear it in his song. I gave him a line that I wrote battling HP and Cat One.
I remember HP.
Jordan, man, look, Jordan believed because HP knew Cat One, and they had like a little collab.
Yeah.
Joe was fixated on, hey, this dude on the radio. I'm like, dude, man, you came in this shit together. You sound like you,
Right.
your eyes going the wrong way.
You're wandering.
Man, so he told me, I'm going to put you, him, and him on a CD, and I'm going to pass it out in school. I hadn't made the song yet. So I go over there and I make the little joint. He already had their music. He burned he burned 4 songs on the CD. HP got one, Cat One got one. Then it's them two on the song together. Then it's me.
You.
I'm the last dude on the CD.
Yeah.
So he passed it out in school. Kids started thinking he cool. Like, man, we didn't know you did music. We just thought you was a teacher.
Yeah.
So he passing out the music in school. And a few days later, he asking his students, like, what you think about the music? And they kept telling him, like, I like the song better with the dude that say I'm in the streets like sewer caps. And he just kept getting that response, like, it's the last song. It's this, it's that. Some, you know, people pick the other guy, don't get me wrong. But he kept hearing that one line, I'm in the streets like sewer caps. He's like, I don't know who that is. Joe sit back and just dissect the first 3 songs. Just knowing that this shit came from them.
Right.
So finally, he listened to the last song. Clear as day, there it is. And he called me. And he told me the story. He was like, dude, now I'm mad, you know, but I'm validated. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, I've been trying to tell your ass, man, this whole time. And that's kind of where the faith factor changed for us.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I just told my son a few days ago. In the streets like sewer caps. I said, dude, I've been listening to rap a long time. I've never heard that said.
Yeah, I can't say that I have either.
In the streets like sewer, a simple phrase. He done took it.
Of course.
He done took the damn song. I'm like, for real, nigga?
Hey,
But
the music is timeless.
anything I can do to help, man, you know what I'm saying? There's a few other bars because he used to listen to the CD a lot, mixtape. There's a few other bars he want to squeeze out.
Okay.
Talking about he just want to squeeze half of My Way. Like, nah, that's a whole song, dude.
I already done told y'all, man. Y'all might as well make that the father and son track. Are we gonna get a father and son track?
Man.
You know, like, cause they was right. You ain't too old to make music. You know what I'm saying?
Timeless.
And it'll be dope. You know, I've yet to hear a bad father and son track. So, we need an exclusive. Are we gonna get the father and son track?
Man, we probably have to make that happen, man.
Just make sure I'm at the session. I gotta be at the session. I gotta witness that firsthand.
That's so. Seem like I'd have to. Teacher teaching the student.
Indeed.
This how you in the booth. This how it work. We went to the booth one time, and I felt like we was getting sloppy. Like, who are all these niggas up here? I don't even know, dude. You the bartender?
Right.
You personal weed roller? Niggas getting slapped at the studio, and I'm kind of like, okay. I go in there, they go punching in a million times. Somebody else is with us, punching in a million times. I went there and dropped that shit so quick. It was one take, ad-libs, and blah, blah, blah.
That was the thing back then, like getting it in one take. Punching in was a sin.
Can't remember, dude, the little white dude, he was like, he held his fist out, was like, I like that.
You did that.
Like, shit, nigga, this shit costs money.
Hell yeah.
What are y'all doing? And I'm talking about, it looked like we was at, like, a house party. Like, we up here on business, man. Didn't you put your bread up?
Right.
And that's when I was kind of like, all right, this is getting too documentary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he catch him? Because it got quiet all of a sudden.
You done caught something.
Damn. Got real quiet all of a sudden.
So went back up there like, all right, I got you.
Damn. Ran into the fence and everything.
Definitely did. Definitely did. Well, man, I'm glad we got a chance to do this. I've been telling you for a while we was going to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And start documenting our lives. You know what I'm saying? We done lost a couple, so it was like, you know, we can't keep waiting to do it. We got to do it. And personally, I just want to tell you, one of my favorite rappers all
Man,
time.
appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? Man, known you for a long, long time, but
You done heard everything other than the mixtape, though.
Yeah.
You done been privileged to that type of stuff.
It was ground flow, so yeah. But you know what I'm saying? I love how you like redirecting that energy into your son, and you know, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But it's dope that you didn't completely give up and you redirecting that energy. And like you said, you teaching now. So it's like iron sharpens iron.
That's another thing that kind of got the juices flowing. I done gave him a few lines, like he'll be in a room playing the game. I give him a little piece of paper like this, and they got a couple of bars on it. He'll be like, man, sometimes we need startup bars. And, you know, like, I'll be honest. When I wrote that Chi-Town song, I'm from the city where it's windy, 150s and handshaking, that's a conversation me and Black was having. I was like, dude, if I could just get one line, I think I can move. He was like, man, I've been playing with this line, but, you know, I ain't about to do nothing with it. And he told me the line. I hung up on him.
That's all I needed.
I didn't even say thanks. I just hung up on them and wrote I wrote the whole song, about 15 minutes. No hook. I just wrote 3 verses. And that's what you wind up hearing at the listening party. And I know, like I said before, I know people's kind of like, all right now, that's enough heat. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's enough. Like,
I mean, we was with it. Like, that never bothered us. That just, every time you came with something hot, we was like, go back to the back cave. All right, we got to get them. So we just go back to the back cave and start writing. Especially Ken. That was, Trip, that was his thing. Like, I got to get Jerry. I'm like, all right.
He was focused.
Yeah.
To the point where even if I'm not around, hey, tell your boy.
Right.
Like, man, why you don't use my name? He was like, tell your boy, I'm coming.
Real shit.
And now I see him in the street. Look like we about to bump shoulders, old school. Like, you think you hot. I got some shit. And that's what kept me on my toes. And the funny thing was, I used to laugh because it was just like, I don't know if it was you or it was Ken. He was like, I think Pour It Up, we got you on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Was that you?
Was me. That was me, because Pour It Up lit shit up. Everybody we played there, I'll never forget that shit. We was sitting there. I think it was your boy. I think it was Black. And B-Mont, that was when B-Mont first started coming around, and there was somebody else in there.
I went to high school with B-Mont.
And they played the first verse to Pour It Up. And the nigga cut the shit off like, how you gonna go after that? And I was like, damn. And then when I started seeing motherfuckers like reciting the hook and shit, and everybody was going, I was like, oh, I think we got him. Because then we came with Kryptonite right after that. And it was like, all right, we on your ass.
I remember just sitting there like, the personal joke. These 3 niggas all coming at me. Come on, man, it's a whole group. Like, why is everybody picking me?
It wasn't just you. We had all picked who we wanted to assassinate.
Damn.
So Ken was coming for you, I was coming for T, and Mac was gonna get whoever the hell was left.
What was left,
Well, me and Ken was on some Goku and Vegeta type shit. We was on it.
I was sitting there like, damn. Did they just say they came at my neck? Like, damn, it's 3 of them. But the joke was, that's respect.
Yeah.
I ain't heard nobody say no other name. It was just kind of like, no, it's you, nigga.
Yeah. we knew who the hell we had to get. It's because, at the end of the day, hip-hop is a competitive sport. So everybody always want to, and you was the OG, so it's like, man, we gotta get on par with dude over here. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm gonna murder these niggas when they show up. I just remember telling T that. Maybe I was the only person that had fun with that moment. Just knowing that at any given moment, somebody gonna clap at me in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? I was just kind of like, all right, let me keep penning, cause these little niggas coming. I heard Pour It Up, cause I was just kind of like, okay. Made me throw it up. When I first heard that, I was like, shit. That song make you do it.
Hey, that was some original gangbang music right there. That was some of the first right there, but it was much more catchy than the shit that niggas doing that.
I remember singing, Kryptonite, she's
my
Kryptonite. Oh man, I remember singing those joints like, these little young niggas got some hits. And I ain't heard everything, but I can put them 2 together and I can take Trippin'.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
yeah, okay. We was just trying to touch every vein of the game. Like, we didn't want to just be hardcore rappers. We wanted to make hits. You know what I'm saying? To quote the nigga Mace, no mad rap, ass cap, where my checks be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you understand that shit. And it was like, all right, we can make some hard shit, but we still gotta, you know what I'm saying? So that's what Pour It Up and Kryptonite came from, because it's like, we gotta make something with some bounce. We gotta make something that can play in the club. And that was our mind state with that. Like, it was always respect there, you know what I'm saying? We was always gonna rap for the team, because anybody that dissed you, Joe, that was another thing. Joe used to trip out on that shit. Cause you would tell us like, all right, you know, the little issues or whatever, and we'd go the next time we in the studio, we recording diss tracks.
So we on that.
Like, all right, let's go. So
Yeah, that's like behind the scenes shit. Like, it wasn't never really spoke up. It just happened.
yeah, we didn't talk about a lot. Once we knew it was an issue, the next time we went to the studio, we didn't have to announce it. You'll hear it when we get to spit.
Joe be out there in that cordless phone in the garage smoking, talking about all you can hear is this deep ass pull, like, yeah, kids, man, E.O.C came up here. He's like, man, they did some song. He would never say what y'all did though.
Yeah,
He'd just be like,
Joe,
man, you know, Rob and them came up, but you could hear that little taking that cancer pull, boy.
Man, he used to try to keep a lot. After a while, like after the mixtape, once he started making the transition to the Big Dog Beats thing, like he started trying to keep a lot of our stuff under wraps. Like,
Yeah.
He was like, all right, we're going to say this, sit this to the side. Nope. Nope. Sit that to the side, sit that to the side, sit that to the side. Because the goal was we was going to stack up like 100 songs and then pick from those and go with that. And then your solo project was supposed to come. And the whole, like, after that, we was the Big Dog camp. Like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? And it was supposed to be that. And unfortunately, you know, he passed. But
Man, Joe was out there with Rockford running into drug dealers that wanted to be rappers.
yeah.
Remember they gave that nigga, they gave him a grill? Joe had his own he had his standard uniform of going out with the guys. He had that little dark button up and some dark pants. And they gave him a chain. And he had his chain sitting outside the shirt. Man, I must have died laughing when he showed me that picture of him being there. I was like, man, who the hell you with? Because I had never seen them people. Like, where you get all that chain from?
Y'all got a picture of a skinny white man with glasses and what he talking about, man. Like,
He used to kill me, man.
it was hilarious.
I used to laugh. He was like, you like my bling? And then he's like, here's another picture. And I was like, you got a grill? Yo, Paul Wild ass. That was my dude,
Hey,
man. Like,
man, he was a great guy, man.
yeah, it was deep in the music with him.
Absolutely.
You came up, you was like family.
Yeah. I remember going up there, his son running around the house, jumping in the pool, all that. Like, it used to be fun, man.
Joe gave me a car. That same car he was waxing. He gave me that car. He's like, I need you to get around. And then one time we did go up there. I caught a train as far as I could go. Joe drove like the next 45 minutes down to the train, and he was in the car on some weed. Man, roll that up. Like, get ready.
Right, because we working when we get back.
He used to love taking me up to Bandit by myself.
Yeah.
Like, man, you know, Phil and them gonna be there. I made a song on Bandit. His brother's name was G something, G Money or whatever his name was. He made a mixtape, and they was having an album release party, right?
Yeah.
I came over there previously and I put my verse down on his outro. Nice beat. I kind of felt like they was fucking it up. So when I jumped on that bitch, Phil wasn't there. Phil was like they best rapper, like a lyrical. He looked like nigga looked like Terrence. You know that dude used to play for Orlando. He went to Phoenix this year. Slam dunk winner.
Fuck is his
Terrence.
name? I don't forgot his damn name.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he had his music. You know, he had a little like he could drop punchline.
Yeah.
Triple F they called him. So I wound up getting on that CD. They took my verse off that bitch.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah.
Disrespect.
They're like, y'all niggas got something there. We had to show up in Rockford. And his G Will, that was his name. He had his whole Such a Mess camp up there.
Oh, yes. I remember Such a Mess.
Man, these niggas talking about, we ain't got no frost on the list. You got to pay to get in. I'm like, what? Y'all asked me to come up here to drop my verse.
Now, speaking of shows, not to cut you off, but I I will be remiss if I don't bring this up.
I know what you're talking about.
You gotta walk me through what happened. You gotta walk me through it, because that was another one of those things that didn't really get an explanation. But then,
That show.
Yes, that one. Because the next show, we had a show up at Olive Harvey, and we like, hey, we finna go shut it down. Motherfuckers they start getting sick all of a sudden. Like, oh, my stomach hurt. I gotta go to the hospital. I can't perform.
Oh.
And it was like, so you're not gonna come? Like, you motherfuckers ain't gonna come to the show? We supposed to be, this ET, you the CEO, how you not gonna come?
Not even show up, huh?
Not even show up. Nobody. It was just E.O.C. and we killed that motherfucker.
That show.
Yeah. So I know anybody from E.O.C. has ever been booed.
ET has, though.
We wasn't there. We didn't perform.
Man.
That's why we had to make sure we killed that show, because it was like, hold on. The first show that we do as a label, we get booed? No, that ain't happening to us. So that whole week, I called it the sweatshop. We was in the garage. It was like 90 degrees outside, sweating. Again. Then we had the little breakdown parts. Like, no, after we finish doing the songs, we going to spit bars a cappella just to make sure they understand what's going on. We left with fans. So you got to walk me through what happened at that show. What songs were performed? Who was performing? What happened?
I can only tell you what I heard, right?
Okay.
Because once again, it's one of the moves.
Yeah.
That was just executive decision. But at the same time, it's kind of like, you picked him to be your goon, and he gonna lead off the first song. Nah. Look, this is what happened. It's days past now, right?
Yeah.
T called me. And he was like, man, me and Bo had a show. And I'm on, what?
Right. Because I didn't, yeah.
You who?
Right.
Why wasn't I called?
Yeah.
Right? So it was like, Bo got to saying something, man. I don't know what he said. When I heard that part right there, I was like, this can't be good, man. He said, he was like, man, I'm something about sure myself. It even frustrated T. He was like, whatever bullshit he said, these motherfuckers started booing us really before we got going. You know, and plus his voice ain't the voice you looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you say, nigga? Him rapping on T.I. beat, I think was the one that was demise. Nothing close, that's how
he rapped on 24s?
Niggas wrong. He
rapped on
yeah, see, his voice was on that. Talking thug shit. And it was just kind of like,
Cause I never got the full story. I just know they got booed. And
now side of me was like, that's what your ass get. I'm not never rooting bad luck on guys, but at the same time, it was kind of like,
why did you do that?
like, dude, and you ain't said nothing. You ain't said shit.
Yeah, because we didn't know
But I
about
might have
it.
heard your mouth if you went over and it went well. You really didn't want to tell me that this shit was fucked up, so we gonna put it off on this nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I ain't really get a chance to spit. Like, I know. You said it off with this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's one of those things.
that's my
people.
personal.
Know your lane. People, know your lane. That's all.
That's my personal. Like,
That's just personal.
why wouldn't you call me? I had the strap.
I ain't gonna lie. We got a good laugh out of it.
I did too.
When we heard about it, we laughed. I'm not gonna lie and say we didn't laugh. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't rooting against them, but we was like, you should have brought your A game with you. Jerry wasn't there. We wasn't there. Well, why did you do that?
You just showed up with some niggas you ain't know to a fight, huh? That's what it felt like. Like we was up on this street. Well, that's the reason why you got your ass whooped. That's what it felt like. I'm like, damn, y'all got booed off the stage, man.
I hope niggas don't see this and feel no certain type of way, because we can laugh about it now. It's 20 years later, but god damn. Like, man.
That was my guy. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That goes without saying.
But at the same time.
That goes without saying. But I just, like, on some hip-hop shit, it was like, man, why did we, this is not our best foot. Why is it forward? You know what I'm saying? And it was like, again, that was one of those things that created, like, the writing on the walls. Like, we just had this funny feeling like this shit ain't gonna last. Because it's too many chefs in the kitchen.
Man,
And it was like,
you heard the line I put up. You know the line. You know the line.
it is just like, you know, it still was fun times, though. We had a lot of fun while we was doing it. So I don't want to cast dispersions like we ain't had no fun and them ain't the guys, because they still the guys. But I definitely got to get the story from either T or Bo. I don't know if they're going to sit down and want to talk about it, but I'm going to try to get that story.
All I know is a bunch of talking before the verse came on, and that kind of was like...
Yeah, right. Yeah, you only got your first impression. You got that first 15 seconds. They're going to look you up and down. Then it's like, all right, what you sound like? Is the beat tight? And, you know, if you can't get past those three things, you pretty much done before the beat drop.
And then I go up to Rockford, have my little 3-4 songs. I perform what you talking about. And the nigga that's on my hook, Black, like the original, that's how I was supposed to sound. And I went from a motherfucker not knowing who I was to, damn, Frost, that shit was hot. Some dude looked like the guy with the short arm and 3-6 Mafia.
Oh, yeah.
DJ Paul. He looked just like him. This nigga got on, did you see the clipping where a dude got on the stage and was trying to talk on the mic and shit?
I didn't see that.
Well, before all that, I was in there with a socks hat on. T couldn't come because he was going out of town. He went to like maybe Florida or something. And I wanted to look like a rapper. He had this shiny ass black Avrix jacket.
Okay.
And I had a socks hat, and I was like, oh, this shit'll go raw together. I already had the chain and shit. And I took his coat. I'm over there getting a drink because, you know I'm supposed to be getting ready, whatever. I'm at the bar getting a drink. Niggas press up on me like, hey man, your hat look like it's to the left a little bit. And I remember looking up like this in my bed, was like, yeah. Well, you know, it's GDs around here. I was like, dude, I came up here to do woo out the wham. Right. He was like, well, you know, man, make sure you check your hat. On the stage, hat still the same way it was at the bar. Them niggas, you know, went from to who was dude.
Right.
Bug had he had a song on there. He had a song called That's Love. He performed, and I had like 4 joints. I literally forgot the first line to catch me, waiting on the beat to come on, dude. I was just like, oh shit. And once I got that line off, because I had never performed before. Once I got the line off, I was good. When we got to What You Talking About,
you was in mode. Yeah.
You could hear niggas, by the time the hook came on the second time, that bar was singing What You Talking About. So they wanted the dude to do his outro at that show. Come on up here. Dang, y'all wasn't even talking to me the whole time we was here. Now you want me to get up here? Because I'll get up here, I'ma murder your brother, bro. My verse was raw.
Yeah.
I know it was. Like I said, I don't even toot my own horn. I'm kind of, you know, humble about it. But I knew, like, I had an attitude. They took me off and tried to sell a CD without me on it. You could have sold the CD with me on it. Niggas would have been singers. People was in there singing his songs, like family members and shit. I don't know how many people really sold that bullshit too.
Yeah.
But you took me off. Now you want me on stage with y'all? No, I'm not getting up there. I didn't even know the verse anyway, you know? They was like, well, just come up here and say some shit. No. No, I got a verse for it because I hear the beat.
Mm-hmm.
I can say this. But it was, nah, I ain't getting up there with y'all niggas.
Right.
Now y'all want to look like family. My name wasn't even there on the roster up at the door when the bouncer was like, "Where you going?"
Right. So
Dude literally put his hand on me like, "Where you going?" I was like,
Stop.
"Dude." Motherfucker seen me up there struggling at the door.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not paying to get in, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Then Bandit finally came to the door like, "Oh, he with us." So as I'm leaving, he was the same dude that wouldn't let me in. He's like, "I can't lie to you, family. You was the coldest nigga up there." Appreciate it. I walked out.
Right.
Spent the night at Joe's crib. He gave me a copy of the show.
Footage. Yeah.
But he appreciated it because I was like, man, y'all see dude on the camera? He the one to make all this possible with the music. Y'all give it up for him.
Mm-hmm. Nah, that's 100 though.
He's like, I appreciate it.
Well, we definitely gonna have to do this again.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get maybe T and Bo and sit down and do a whole collective thought on it. You know what I'm saying?
Like a reunion.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it'll be cool to even talk about. Because like the hood know it existed, certain pockets of the city know it existed, but why not talk about it? It happened. You know what I'm saying? So until next time, Talk on the Hill. Of course, it's Rob Lee. You bet not forget the 103. We'll see y'all later.